Hey guys, I'm Nina Zeta with Sidewalker Daily, and in today's video, I want to help you get started collaborating with brands, what you should be doing first, and getting you in a really good place to start pitching. Now, if you're new to our channel, welcome. We love talking all things creator economy, social media, helping creators work with brands is really our signature here. So today's video is very on brand for us because it is going to cover a lot of good information to help you get started collaborating with those brands. Now, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want everyone kind of here that's listening to kind of understand how you plan to collaborate with brands. Are you coming at them from an influence perspective or a content perspective, or perhaps both? Now, let me elaborate. If you're coming to them from an influence perspective, you're saying, hey, I have a community of people that want to learn about you. They trust me, and I would love to come and talk to brand about your product or service to my humans. Okay, that is basically the influence track. That's when you feel like you have an audience that trusts you, that likes you, that knows you, that feels comfortable with you. And it's not a question of how big this audience is are you going to a brand saying, I have your audience, let's work together? Or are you going to brands and saying, hey, I'm a really skilled content creator. I can create really great content for you, whether it's photos or short form video or long form video or voiceover or talent. I can create content for you, brand, and I'm going to be pitching my work and my services and my skill set and my capabilities as a creator, whether it be a UGC creator or content creator. You're leaning more with the creator angle. The reason I want you guys to start here is because it's kind of like the top section, because once you understand what it is that you're pitching to brands, then you can go ahead and decide what are the materials that you need for these pitches, what's the type of content that you should be creating to get brands excited about working with you, etc., etc. Now, of course, there are many creators that are both. They have influence and they can produce content. In that case, awesome, you're like the golden egg, you can do both. And a lot of times influencers are also content creators and content creators have influence. It's not an either or situation. I just want to get you thinking about, like, what foot do you want to lead with? What do you think is your strongest suit, influence or content? Now, once you kind of start there and you understand this is how you want to collaborate with this brand, you want to go to them saying, hey, I have an audience. Ding, ding, ding. Hey, I have influence. Then you're going to want to create the certain materials that that brand would need to see. Now, we have so many videos on this channel about media kits, so I won't bore you too much, but obviously if you are an influencer or an aspiring influencer, you will need a media kit, period, end of story, non-negotiable. In this time and age, you need a media kit. It is your visual resume. It's going to include examples of your work, past brand collabs, a little bit about you, really good statistics, and really kind of give a brand an insider peek as to why they should work with you. So again, this video is about helping us get organized in our pitches. Also, we know that if we're pitching influence, we need a media kit. Alternatively, if we know we're pitching content and we really want to lean with content, then we're going to need some sort of UGC portfolio or some sort of portfolio document that, you know, showcases your capabilities, the type of content that you can make, examples of what you've done, etc., etc., etc. Now, if you're a visual person and you're like, Nina, I want to see media kits, I want to see portfolios, how can I see what these look like? I want to make one. Well, you can find all of this information and more inside of our Pitching to Brands Master Course. It's an 11-hour training all about pitching to brands, all about going after the business, right? Going to them, the materials, examples. It is jam-packed with information. So I will leave a link below so that you can take a look at that if you need some examples of what these materials look like. Now, regardless where you're at, if you want to collaborate with brands, we talked about the materials that you guys need, right? And now we have to also understand, are we ready to receive? What happens when I reach out to a brand and they head over to our social page, they head over to our TikToks or our Instagrams? Are our bios optimized? Are we ready to receive these brand clients? What would their first impression of you be, right? So take a second to put yourself in the brand's perspective, head over to your accounts and see what does that look like, even literally from a bio perspective. It may sound silly, but even if you're an Instagrammer and you have a highlight that says how to work with me, or it has a link to your portfolio, or it shares, you know, past brand partnerships, these are small little things that kind of get brands like, you know, oh, this creator, she's worked with people before, she's worked with other brands before, and it gives them that confidence. So take a second to make sure your social profiles are optimized and ready to receive. The same thing goes with content. Are you creating content that a brand would want to collaborate with you on? So for example, if I was a beauty brand and you were pitching to me about working together, and I went over to your page and I saw tons of really good beauty content and showing, you know, seeing you do a product review or an unboxing or a before and after, or you're, you know, doing a vlog style showing this product, I would be like, ding, 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 this person makes sense for us, right? They have content that makes sense for our campaigns and our goals. So when you're pitching to brands, pitch to brands in the very beginning that make sense with your content, your existing content that you're already posting, because it's an easier sell. If you're a beauty creator, off the bat that's just looking to collaborate with brands, pitch to beauty brands right away, because it will help them be like, oh, this makes sense, versus if you were pitching to a brand outside of your niche. Now, pitching outside of your niche is something you can absolutely do, and again, something I teach in our pitching course. But in the very beginning, if you're looking to collaborate with brands and you're just doing your first pitches, I would stick to pitching within your niche. Now, a really important mindset shift that you need to kind of understand is there are really two ways to collaborate with a brand. Either they reach out to you or you reach out to them. Now, if they reach out to you, you're in a really good position of power, so to speak, because they're the ones making the first move, right? They're the ones that are like, hey, we want to work with you. And it just takes you kind of finessing or pivoting them reaching out to you to make it into a paid deal. Now, I have a free training every month that I read a pitch out loud on how to pivot from a gifted opportunity to a paid one. So if you're interested in that, definitely join me at my next free live training. I'll include a link below. They're live, they're not recorded. So I go and I teach like literally live, and I read all these great pitches out loud. So if you are interested in that, I'll leave a link so you can come join me and hear me read that out loud. And that's really a great angle for brands when they reach out to you. Now, alternatively, if you want to collaborate with brands, you gotta go for it. You can't just sit and wait for them to come to you, because the number of opportunities and doors that will be opened if you reach out first, the sky's the limit, versus if you're just waiting for brands to reach out to you. So once you have, you know, your media kit or your portfolio, you have content that makes sense on your page for that pitch, and you have an optimized bio, then perhaps you're gonna wanna reach out to these brands and pitch them. And what's really important, guys, when you start wanting to collaborate with brands and you start reaching out to them, is that you lead with value. Don't make it about you, make it about them. How can you help them? What value can you provide to them, right? So make sure that pitch is personalized. One of the biggest mistakes creators make is using templated pitches where they just copy and paste and, you know, put it in and send it out. You guys don't like when you guys get those from brands, right? So you want to make sure you take the time to send a well thought out pitch. Even if it's just a paragraph within that pitch that shows that you've done your research, that you've gone on their website, that you understand what it is that they're looking to promote. It's those little pieces of the pie that, you know, really make the difference. And when you're pitching a cold brand. Now, notice how I said pitching a cold brand. What is that? A brand that doesn't know you exist. But a really great way to collaborate with brands is dig in to the brands that have sent you free stuff, that have reached out to you first. This is what I call our warm leads. Your warm leads are this person, and your chances of getting a yes from them are way higher than from a brand that has never heard from you before, right? So definitely take all of this to account when you are pitching to brands. Now, when you decide that you're looking to collaborate with brands, one of the biggest things, guys, and this is stuff that influencers and creators don't like necessarily take into account, is confidence. A brand doesn't want to work with a creator who is like, oh my God, I'm so lucky to work with you, right? That's definitely not the energy. A brand wants to work with a creator that they feel safe with, that they feel like this creator is going to take control, they're going to come to the table with creative ideas, that they're basically someone who is providing a service to the brand, right? So a big mindset shift for the creators here that want to collaborate with brands is to understand you're in client services. Your brands are your clients. You need, especially if you're looking to reach out and collaborate with them, you're gonna wanna make sure that you are acting as a professional, not someone who, you know, is not proofreading their emails or taking weeks to respond or just overall sloppy. Remember, these are the little things that make a difference in your pitches. Now, just to wrap up, because again, there's so much information about collaborating with brands that I go over in my free training, but one of the big things I do just kind of want to end up with is that you don't have to say yes, okay? So as you are pitching, as you are reaching out to brands, you may get brands that are like trying to shortlist you. Oh, we'll do gifted, or oh, we'll do this. And you'll try a pivot strategy and they just won't budge. You don't have to say yes, okay? This is a big one, but I also want you to normalize hearing no. You can pitch to brands and not hear back from them. That is part of the pitching process. That's part of wanting to collaborate with brands, is being okay with hearing a no. What's the worst? They say no? Okay, we move on. What's important is that you stay organized in your pitches, that you have a system that you know, okay, I'm gonna pitch these 10 brands a month. This is gonna be my follow-up email. I'm gonna be following up weekly. You know, it's more important that you start to do these little things than get hung up if they say no, or, you know, how that kind of taking it personally, because it's not personal. As someone who works on the brand side, I can tell you sometimes we don't have budget. Sometimes we're not working with creators. Sometimes, you know, there's circumstances that you don't necessarily know that are happening behind the scenes. So I hope that gives you motivation just to keep on pitching and keep on sending those pitches. Guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like it, make sure to subscribe to our channel, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video.